Welcome to the PhD's Toolkit, a new series in which we're going to review tools, software, and techniques that are going to make your life as an academic just a little bit easier. This series will contain our honest opinions and experiences with different tools, and today we're going to start with Jenni AI. Jenni AI is a writing assistant that claims to help you write with confidence. As proper scientists, we're going to look at each of these tools with a set of rigorous criteria. We're going to look at function, ease of use, price and significance, and at the end of the video, we're going to add this tool to our Toolkit scoreboard. Before we get into any of that, Jaron is going to give you a tour of Jenni AI.
If you would like to follow along with our Jenni AI tour, you can do so by going to thestrugglingscientist.com/Jenni. There you can register or sign in using your email address to get started. And once you do get started, you'll be faced with the immediate nightmare of every author, which is a blank page that they still need to write on. But not to worry, Jenni has a nice feature that can help you get started there called Start with Prompt. Using this feature, you'll indicate to Jenni what you're going to be writing and what you want to write about. This helps Jenni help you later on throughout the writing process that you're going to be encountering. Once you do that, and once you start writing some text, you'll probably encounter the next problem, which is writer's block at some point, where you just don't know how to continue a sentence or how to continue a paragraph. This is also where Jenni can come in handy because it has a feature that is called text autocomplete, where after 3 seconds of inactivity, it will suggest how you can finish a sentence or continue on with a new sentence altogether. You can choose to accept this sentence, or modify it a little bit, up to you. But basically, you never have to get stuck with writer's block ever again. But say, for example, you're not happy with the results of the autocomplete. Well, you don't have to worry about that either, because you can also use Jenni's AI commands feature. There you can go beyond the ability of the autocomplete function and basically have Jenni start by writing an introduction for you, start by writing a discussion, provide you opposing arguments, and also expand on the writing that you've already done. Very powerful features, and you can also expand on this even further with custom AI commands as well that really tailor Jenni's AI commands to what you're writing about. So very powerful feature that I highly suggest. In addition to that, writing, especially academic writing, is not only about writing whatever is at the top of your brain and putting it onto the page. You also need to be able to manage academic papers, reference, and extract knowledge from papers. That's also where Jenni can come in handy, because you can basically upload all the PDFs, all the relevant documents that you need for your writing process onto Jenni and have them readily accessible and easily usable to you during your writing process, so you never have to get out of flow and you're able to continue writing. Beyond that, as you're digging through your library of resources, a library of papers, you can also use Jenni's AI chat feature, which allows you to chat with your PDFs and gather the information that you need and insights that you need out of the papers directly, and be able to continue writing without having to first stop, do something else, go leave Jenni to figure out the information. You have it all readily accessible via its AI chat feature as well. And lastly, of course, one important aspect of academic writing is the ability to reference and cite papers. And since you already have the papers in your library, Jenni allows you to immediately cite them while you're writing in a variety of different formats. But also, if you don't have a relevant article yet in your library, you can also ask Jenni to look up relevant articles for you and cite those as well. All in all, very powerful features.
Now, you might recognize Jenni AI from our podcast, since we have collaborated with them before, and we do actually love this tool. So it shouldn't be that surprising that when we came up with this new concept of the PhD's Toolkit, that we wanted Jenni AI to be one of our first videos. What was a little bit more surprising to us, however, is that when we went to the creators of Jenni AI and said to them, hey, we want to make an honest review video, but you get no say about what is going to be in this video, and you don't even get to see the video before it comes out, it's just going to be our honest opinions about your tool, that they were still very excited and even offered to give us a pro version for Jenni to show you guys, and also a discount code for the pro version if you guys would want to upgrade to the pro version of Jenni AI. They are very confident about their tool, and I think they should be, because they made quite a great writing assistant. So let's get right into the first criteria that we're going to review this tool on, which is function. Now, in terms of its function as a writing assistant, I think Jenni AI does a great job. Now, you shouldn't expect it to write your paper from scratch. If you ask Jenni AI to do that, then it does tend to start getting into repetition a little bit too much, and it doesn't exactly go into the direction that you want it to go. And I think it's also not something we would want as scientists, that an AI writes our entire paper. You as an author still need to be very much in control of the points you want to make, of the direction you want your scientific paper to go in, and you just use Jenni AI as an assistant in your writing. And I think for that it is really, really great. I personally struggle a lot with overthinking my sentences, especially in a first draft, where I should just write down my thoughts and then later edit, but I can get stuck on a sentence for quite a bit. And Jenni AI, after a couple of seconds, gives you a recommendation for how you could finish a sentence. And that really helps, even if you don't exactly follow the sentence that Jenni AI suggests. It helps you just get through the writing block and finish that sentence and get on with finishing your first draft. And then later you can edit it into the perfect paper that you want it to be. So personally, I would have definitely used this tool if it was available for me when I was writing the first draft of my papers. And I also use it now when I write things for the struggling scientist content that we do use Jenni AI for this. Because it just helps you writing and not get stuck in this. Another function of Jenni AI that I do love is the citations. Just by adding an at to your writing, it starts looking in your database for citations that matches the sentence that you have just written, which is really powerful. Of course, you need to know what is in your database, what these papers exactly say, and make sure that you reference the right paper. That's your responsibility as a scientist, but Jenni AI does help with this, and it's great. Another great thing is also that both of these functions are already available in the free version of Jenni AI. Now, there is a little bit of a cap, but they are available, which isn't always the case for AI tools these days. So, in terms of functions, I think it works well as a writing assistant. It's not going to help you find great papers from your field. It is limited to writing assistants, but it is really great in that area. With that in mind, I think we can give Jenni AI 5 out of 5 stars on functions, especially since these functions that we love are already available in the free version. Limited amount per day, but still very workable. We'll talk a little bit more in the pricing categories about what exactly is in the free version and what exactly is in the pro version of Jenni AI.
Next up is the ease of use, and part of that entails how readily available the tool is for use. In the case of Jenni AI, it is readily available on all major web browsers, which basically means it's available anywhere you have internet access, which is great. However, one major caveat is that Jenni AI is not available, for example, as a integration, plugin, or add-in for major writing platforms such as Google Docs or Microsoft Word, which a lot of PhD students and academics tend to use for writing their manuscripts, for example. And this does severely limit its overall availability. Jenni AI is still quite a new tool on the scene. It doesn't have the extensive library of features that these tools have, and it would have really greatly benefited from being an integration into these tools and working alongside the workflows that many academics already have developed using these tools instead of substituting it. However, it's still readily available on the interwebs, so you can just get started using it there. Next up is the learning curve of the tool. So that basically means how easily you can get started using it and how hard it is to learn it and master using the tool as well to get it to do what you want. In the case of Jenni AI, it is quite easy to learn how to use it. So basically you just need to get started by going to their website, which you can do by going to thestrugglingscientist.com/Jenni. Once you do that, you register your email address and you can get started. You'll immediately be confronted with a blank page. And its features are really sleek and minimal and just built in there, and they'll make themselves known as you start writing. On the right, you'll encounter the library where you can add your relevant documents for your writing. At the bottom, you'll come across various text editing tools in addition to the AI commands. And if all of that is not enough, you can also switch between different projects and writing projects that you have on the left as well. So not too much, not too extensive, but I would say very essential, very core to what you actually need. However, given the simplicity of learning how to use Jenni, it does come with some drawbacks because, as I mentioned earlier, it does not have all the features of a more established writing platform like a Google Docs or a Microsoft Word, where you can edit images or exactly place the images where you want. Or while Jenni, for example, does have different citation styles, it does not provide all the different citation styles, so you're quite limited in what you can do sometimes with Jenni. However, still pretty easy to pick up and do a lot of what you want here. Next up is the interface. Already hinted at this, quite sleek, quite minimal, quite easy to find everything you need and not get distracted by all the different buttons and knobs and levers that you can pull in the tool itself. You basically just have your text in front of you and your citations. And for the rest, it's you and the AI doing your best work. And lastly, I want to talk about the adaptability of the tool. It has a lot of these core features that you really would like and you use a lot, like the AI commands, the citations, your libraries. However, you can't do everything with it. And if you really want to get to the finishing touches of your academic paper ready to submit, you're going to have to export it out of Jenni and still do the finishing touches, like captions for your images in a Microsoft Word or a Google Docs in the end anyway. So all in all, it's still a great tool, and I hope more features come to it still, and it'll keep getting better and better. However, for right now, despite being easy to pick up, I would still rate it a 3 out of 5 for the overall ease of use for Jenni.
Our next review category is going to be pricing. Now, Jenni AI likes to keep its pricing simple. You either have a free plan or a pro plan. And the free plan stays free. You don't have to give any credit card information or anything like that. They don't try to trap you into a subscription after the first month. It is just free, which is great. It already contains a lot of the features of Jenni AI in the free plan, but there is a cap. For example, you can use only 200 words created by the AI per day. Now in these 200 words you've written yourself don't count. So only if you click accept for words that are generated by Jenni AI, they count to your 200. So you can already write quite a bit and test this out really well with these 200 words. Also, your citations are capped at a certain number and you can only ask the Jenni AI a certain amount of questions. However, exactly how many this is in the free plan is a little bit unclear. Now, if you want to upgrade to the pro version, you get unlimited words generated by AI per day, you get unlimited citations, and you get unlimited questions. So you can write a lot more. What I love is that with the free plan, you can already really try out if this is a tool that works for you and if you need more words than 200 a day. Or if you would like to write most of it yourself and only use sometimes words from Jenni AI. You can test it out really well and then decide if you want the pro plan. Pro plan costs either $20 a month if you pay per month or $12 per month if you pay for an entire year at once. Now with our discount code SCIENCE20, you get 20% discount on either the first month or on the first year. So if you want to upgrade to the pro plan, definitely try it out. But since it already has such a good free plan, I would definitely recommend testing out the free plan first and then seeing if this is a tool that really works for you. I can imagine if you're a PhD student who writes a lot, that it might really be worth it for you. Or perhaps if you are in the month where you have to write your thesis, that then it might really be worth it to pay for Jenni AI and have those extra functionalities. So with all that in mind, I think we can give Jenni AI 4 out of 5 stars for pricing. Now it isn't free and it definitely costs something, but they are very upfront about what they cost and how much it's going to cost you, and they don't try to trap you into any unwanted subscription like some other tools actually do.
That brings us to our last category, the significance. Is it going to change your life as a PhD student or an academic? And I would say that kind of depends on what you mostly struggle with during your writing process. But overall, I think all of us can agree that at some point you will struggle with your writing process, whether that's a manuscript or you're writing your thesis, there will be some struggle involved. And anything that can ease that struggle, make it a little bit more bearable, make it a little bit easier, and help you get it done maybe a bit faster, gets a warm welcome from us. So with that said, yes, I think it can be a great tool for changing the life of PhD students and academics. Now, next up, is it for all PhD students and academics? I would say overall, yes. However, it will depend at what stage you are during your PhD or your academic career. Like, obviously, a writing tool is more relevant when you're actually about to do some writing. than when you're still busy in the lab gathering some data and results to be able to write about. So with that said, check out Jenni when you're nearing the writing phase and get acquainted with it, see if it's useful for you, see if it helps you out. With that said, in terms of overall stars, I would give it 4 out of 5 stars for its significance. It can really be a game changer for some people.
Now this brings us to the last part of this video, where all that's left to do is put Jenni AI on our PhD tools ranking. Now the Jenni AI scored pretty good on all the different categories that we scored it on, and on average it scored 4 out of 5 stars, which is pretty cool. And we think it's also a really cool tool that might change the lives of a lot of PhD students out there. So definitely check it out if you're interested. For now, we do want to leave some room for growth on our tier list and for some other pretty cool AI tools that might come up in the future. So we're gonna put Jenni AI in the awesome category. Now you can see that there's still a lot of space left for other AI tools that we might get to later, but if you don't want to wait until we have all those videos out, then sign up for our newsletter via the strugglingscientist.com and get the inside scoop of what other videos we're planning to make and where we put those AI tools on our tier list. Now, if you like this video and you would like to see more like it, then definitely subscribe to our channel, and we hope to see you all next time. Bye!